It's too early to start revising for GCSEs is a phrase I've heard countless times. This is an excuse for procrastination. You're putting off a task to do later. If you have extraordinary goals for your GCSE exams, you're going to have to do extraordinary work to achieve such results. This means not doing what 90% of people do, and that is procrastinating their GCSE revision and saying it's too early to revise now or to start now. If you think of it, instead of looking forwards, looking back, if you imagine yourself on that exam day and you have not achieved the goals that you set yourself, you're gonna look back and you're gonna wonder why you did not achieve those goals. And if you started revising maybe 2 weeks before the exam and you went into the exam with the mindset of I'll leave it up to fate or any other external source of power, and you go into the exam with some sort of hope that something will save you, you are not accepting the reality of the situation, which is no one is going to save you. You have to save yourself. And this means that you will have to put in all the work yourself, shoot yourself up to the level that you want to achieve all by yourself, and not leave it up to luck or fate or anything else. So start now with your work, because there's no perfect time to start. Most people wait for a perfect time to start, but they don't realize that that perfect time is now. So start now with your GCSE revision, because sooner or later, and most likely what will feel like sooner, is a time when you realize that you're behind and you have 1,000 different things left to do to get done for your revision, and you still haven't started, and you're maybe 6-8 weeks away from your exams. Even 8 weeks away from your exam, it looks like a lot of time, but if you break down every single task you need to get done, you realize that that's not a lot of time. I think it took me a few weeks even just to finish making flashcards for all of history, migration, or the medieval paper. But tasks like that, they take time, and you think you'll get it done quick, but you won't. So going back to that, thinking back from results day, if you realize that you haven't done what you needed, you might realize you will pinpoint that exact flaw or fault you made, which might be starting too late for your revision, and remembering back to when you couldn't get everything done and you had to cram the night before. Most people in my year, so 2024's exam, most people I talked to were struggling because they were cramming the night before, and a majority of them did not achieve the results they wanted. So don't wait for a perfect time to start. Don't wait for the stars to align or some sort of special event in life. There's nothing like that. The more time you spend waiting for that is time you take away from yourself, from actually creating the results, because nothing else will create the results. What you have to realize is that it's all on you. If you take 100% responsibility for your GCSE results and don't put the blame on someone else, give power to someone else. If you give power to yourself by taking full responsibility, you can take full control, and that will give you the full potential, the ability to unlock your full potential for your GCSE exams. Because if you leave it up to some sort of external source, there's a higher chance of you not reaching that goal. My goal in the exams was to get all 9s in the subjects I was doing in year 11, other than English, because I knew in English I was far behind where I needed to be to get those 9s. So in other than English, I did everything I needed to. You need to be willing to do every single thing you have to do to reach your goals. So that's what I did. Every single thing I could have done to do the best in each subject I was doing other than English. Everything I could do for French, history, geography, every science, physics, biochem, maths, to achieve the 9 I wanted. And that's easier said than done, because when you break it down, you realize that, oh, I have to do flashcards for this subtopic, this subtopic, this subtopic to create the whole thing. And that's just one subject. You have to do that 4 or 5 more times, or even 6 times. And that does take time. So start now, so then you're not left with a lack of time, because a lack of time is the worst thing. Time doesn't come back. Time will keep going. That sun will rise every day and set every day, and it's up to you to decide how much you get done through every single day. So start taking this seriously. Most people want to take it seriously later, but they don't realize that later will come sooner if you do leave it for later, because you'll leave it you're waiting with a expectation for that later. So in the now, while you're waiting, your brain is focused on the future, on some future time period. So you're not focused on the now. You're thinking, when this comes, I'll do this, instead of now I'll start doing this. By saying now I'll start doing this, you will get the results you want. And this is the best thing you can do. The best thing you can do is to start now. That's the way you can put 100% of yourself into this to get the best grades you want. If you leave it later, if you leave it maybe for 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, that would be less than 100%. That might be 99, 95% of your potential fully used. But because you've set yourself, and I hope you have set yourself that ambitious goal, because you've set yourself an ambitious goal, you do want to give 100% instead of leaving it for later. So start now with your work. Don't leave it for another day. Don't wait for the perfect time to start, because the perfect time to start is now.